Alrighty, let's get stuck into it, shall we? We are continuing on from last night's stream, and we are going to be doing the rest of these ghosty, white-looking Marines. So, I think the first thing we're going to want to do is begin on that base that I promised we'd get onto. So let's do that. So, as a reminder, we're going to try and do this sort of Mars desert looking base. That's the plan for these dudes. And I can't remember how I did this, so we're going to just experiment and see where the wind takes us. So for the first paint we're going to use red terracotta from Vallejo. It's a game air paint, but can work just as well as just a normal paint. Just means it's pre-thinned, really. Built for airbrushes, but doesn't really matter how you use it as long as you slap the paint on. We don't need to be too neat with this either, I don't think, because we're going to put on some pigment powders afterwards anyway. Give it that real sort of dusty look, which I'm a sucker for. I love the good dusty look. And I don't mind if I get it on his boots either, because even if it gets up there, it's all going to kind of blend in to one anyway. Kind of make it feel like he's really walking on whatever planet he's walking on. The only thing we want to do is just kind of make sure that none of that yellow, kind of creamy looking texture paste is still visible, because it will stick out and kind of break the illusion. Cool. Happy with that. So let's leave this one to the side to dry. Exy Hoops. Hey man, love the model. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm happy with how he's turning out too. So I've only got 3 of these guys, which are pretty close to being done. And I have probably about 7 left, because it's like a squad of 10 that still need to be fully painted up. They've all kind of been base coated with the white, like the white color that we're looking to go for. But I have yet to do the weathering and chipping and stuff. So if we have time, I might make a start on those and share it on this stream. If not, we can save it for next time. quite a quick step, this one. Doesn't take much time at all. And we're literally not even thinning the paint because it's pre-thinned. It's an air paint, so it runs in quite nicely. Carl making the base. Yes, we are indeed. We've already put the texture paste on. We did that last night to get that rock looky look about it. And now that that's dried, we can start painting the thing. And this dude last night, until someone pointed it out, it looks like he's holding a big twisty. Or Cheeto, I think he called it. But here in Australia we got twisties, and I can see that they look like a twisty now. Not my intention, it's meant to be orange smoke, but I'll take it. Jade, yeah, forbidden twisty. That's exactly right. I was like, I didn't even cross my mind until someone pointed it out. Like, you know, when you just think of it in a certain way, like I would have never thought of that until someone pointed it out. But he is now Twisty Man. Yeah. That's it, it does look like a Cheeto. Guste. Yo, recently bought some paints to start my Lamenter's army. Time for a penitent crusade. Oh, nice. Sucker for punishment, hey? Prepared for loss after loss with Lamenters. I feel like that's all they cop, isn't it? I've got bad luck curse. Bruh, we just dropped him. That is Butterfingers to the extreme. But he's not damaged. Saved by the power of the Twisty. Alright, so those three are drying. And now, if we pick out this dude, I think we still needed to do some weathering. So that's what we can do while the other bases are drying. So we can do a little bit more of the weathering. So to give you guys a recap of what we did with the weathering last night, we did an overall model wash with dark streaking grime, so the green version, thinned with white spirits. And this is sort of the overall result of it. Quite happy with it. It's very subtle because we wiped away a lot of it. And then we went back in with some streaking grime, the OG, the original streaking grime, just in select areas to kind of build up a little bit more of that grimy, gross look in some of the nooks and crannies. Oh no, is my internet playing up? Yikes. No good. Let me see if I can fix that. I got an old toaster, so that's probably not helping. Let's try and close a few applications too. Alright, there we go. Hopefully it's a little bit better now. What was I saying? Yes, so we did the 2 washes of streaking grime and removed what we didn't want to keep. Now, I did show you could do oil drops, like drops of oil paint like this one, and do rust streaks, but I was playing around just before I started going live, and I forgot I had this paint, which is Vallejo Game Effects Dry Rust. which is quite a good little paint slash effect paint. So we're going to use that because it's pretty much put it on your palette and you're ready to go, and I'll show you how we do it. I'm going to go on thinned a little bit, so I just dip my brush in a bit of water, and that's the only sort of thinning I'm doing. And what we want to do is kind of look for the areas that are quite deeply chipped, like this area here, for example. You don't want to be doing too much of it, but focus on the areas that look like they have the most amount of damage, because that's where we would have a lot of the rust build up. So we just kind of pulling it down like this. It's okay, it looks way too artificial at the moment, but as it starts to dry, we can kind of pull it around a little bit and start to clean the brush while we do it, and pull in the sides so we can start making the rust streaks exactly how we like them. See how that's already looking a lot better because we've just pulled in the edges, kind of like feathered them in. And if you ever look at something in real life that has rust streaks falling down it, and if they have like a little ridge like here, you'll notice it kind of catches. So what we're going to do is kind of have this pull at the bottom. So all along that sort of rim of your shoulder pad, like that. And then same thing, we're kind of rinsing. And then feathering and pulling it in. So to get rid of that stark line, we're kind of wanting it to look a little bit like that, so you can see it's starting to come together. Sorry guys, I've missed a few comments here. Got too caught up and just yapping away. So what do we got here? Book Wizard has just started playing the game. Fantastic. I hope you're enjoying it, mate. And Gusta's gonna buy an artificial layer brush, small size soon. Very nice. Adding to the arsenal of your weapons. Very good. And in terms of what brushes I use, these are the ones that I use. I have Raphael Kalinsky sables, size 0 and size 1. They're the two brushes that I will paint 99% of my models with to completion. And then when I'm airbrushing, I'm using this as the airbrush. My Badger Extreme Patriot 105. It's a really good brush for sort of intermediate entry level. It's more expensive than like a lower end, but it's not like the top tier with like Iwata or Harder and Steinbeck type brushes, which down the track I think I'll look to invest in, but she's gotten me through a lot of stuff, which is good. Hello over on YouTube. Not sure what your name is because it's in Russian, but hello, I'm from Russia and I also paint figurines. Welcome, mate. Thanks for joining. What figurines do you paint? Nice. And Carl is having trouble with Asmodee. Oh no, it's no good. Anyone got any suggestions for Carl on Asmodee? What are you struggling with, mate? Okay, so let's continue with some of this rust streaks as I'm yapping. Try and build it up a little bit more thick because it's a little, as it dries, it kind of tends to go away. Do I play Blood Bowl? No, I don't, unfortunately. I don't really even play 40k or Kill Team. Like I mainly do it just a lot of painting. But my friends want me to start playing a bit more with them, so I need to finish my own army and do that. Gundam Chris, been painting and customizing Gunpla for 4 years, just started painting minis, really enjoying it. That's so good to hear, mate. I've heard a lot of people kind of make the switch to Gunpla to Warhammer, and vice versa. I know a lot of people who are sort of like branching out into other hobbies, which is really cool to see, kind of a crossover. And system notification. It's got beers and Uber Eats, and this is what they're watching tonight. I'm glad. Very nice, very nice. See you, mate, over on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Wofo Kid, what type of space marine is this? This is a Phobos marine. So he's wearing a Phobos pattern armor, which is more like your stealthy looking dudes. In terms of a chapter of unknown origin. I kind of just painted the color that I thought looked cool and have not had a name for it yet, or thought of a name rather. So if any of you have suggestions, I'm still taking them on board. Last night people suggested White Fangs, Warp Ghosts. I wrote down the other one, but I can't seem to find where my list is. They're the two that I remember straight off the back. Matter, Blood Angels for the win. Oh, you got good taste. I'll let that slide because I do love the Blood Angels. I have. What up, lad? What up, mate? How are you? White Tears. Okay, White Tears from Guste. Very nice. And Gundam is focused on the Gunpla, just using minis to build up my brush skills and layering techniques. Yeah, very nice. You just gotta practice. Like I will still do. Oh, what the hell is that? I've never seen it. Was that a galaxy? Oh, that's awesome, dude. Thank you. I don't actually know what that means, but if I can get you to play this sound, where is it? How does that work? Oh no. God, my old toaster's getting too old. Here we go. That's a gumdrop buttons if I've ever seen one. Here we go.
No, not the buttons. Gumdrop buttons.
My gumdrop buttons. Thank you very much, XE Hoops. You're a legend.
No, not the buttons. Gumdrop buttons.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, I don't actually know what those do or mean because I've only really just started this streaming stuff. So yeah, cool. Jade Storm, my boyfriend paints Warhammer figurines. I love to paint, so I got into it. I love to design bases and terrain the most. Awesome. So creative that you guys can sort of share the hobby together in that fashion. My girlfriend is very creative. She's not into Warhammer, but she did paint a figurine once, and I've got it right here because I think she did a really good job. It's this one here. She painted, this was her first ever Warhammer mini, and it was a little Tyrannid from the Leviathan box set. So yeah, I'm very, very proud of what she did there. I think she did a really good job. Look, she even did like blending and like edge highlighting for like your first ever mini. It's pretty good. I have 3,000 points of Death Guard and haven't painted a single one. Oh mate, Nurgle's rot has literally just rotted off all the paint, huh? That's what your excuse can be. So diseased that it went back to bare plastic. And Carl, these guys are loyalists. I'm thinking them like they almost are inspired by like the Raptors, sort of, you know, reasonable marine type feel. That's what I was going for with that. Hoping that they'd be like those tactical guys. where they want to be real sneaky, kind of like Raven Guard too, as well, you know. That's the vibe I'm going for. Stinky butt. I've just started painting minis myself. Way too much to learn. Yeah, one day at a time, mate. You'll get there. Just keep painting, and yeah, find a few people that you click with or you enjoy watching, and you can just pick up tips from them. There's heaps of good stuff on YouTube. That's where I've done a lot of mine. XE Hoops, they give you money. Oh, is that what they do? Thank you. That's really cool. Thanks, mate. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Jade, good on her. I love that. Oh, thanks, guys. I'll tell her that you guys dig her Tyranid. £20, mate. That's way too much. Don't be doing that. That's crazy. Thank you. Like, that is going to be buying quite a few more paints, so thank you very much. Really do appreciate that. But that's too much money. Don't be doing that, mate. It's really kind of you. Carl, want a Latin name or something more simpler? I'm open for anything. Anything you think is cool, shoot my way. I haven't decided yet what we want to call them. And one of my friends is really good at coming up with lore, so maybe we can give him a challenge. If we come up with a cool name, he'll write a whole backstory. Haven't told him that's what we're going to make him do, but we'll convince him, don't worry. Where am I? Watching from Perth? Oh, all the way in WA. Who wants to be over there, mate? Yuck. I'm over on the East Coast. I'm in Sydney. The better part of Australia. Spamton G. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. And Jade is in Canberra. Oh, nice. I was in Canberra not too long ago. Catching up with some family. Bet it's colder this time of year. Definitely be packing a jacket if you're going anytime soon. Multiple jackets. Yeah, cold as. Be freezing my ass off, that's for sure. Yeah, XE Hoops, I'm not sure. I don't know, I'm sure I'll get a notification or something. So yeah, thank you. And Carl, oh, thank you for the finger heart and the you're awesome. Oh, you guys are so generous. Thank you. That's a gumdrop buttons. Thank you. So let's just lock in for a sec so I can move on to the next step because my shit's drying up on my palette. What I want to quickly do is maybe just get a little bit on the gun here because we want to tie that in. So I'm going to be a bit Speedy Gonzalez at the moment. Just get it in a little bit, nothing too crazy. And some of those metal bits. And we should be cooking. I think that's looking good. Warp Enigma, back over on YouTube. Oh nice, stumbled upon the stream today. Whoop! Yeah, good to have you here again, mate. Thank you. And your suggestion is Spectral Ghosts. Ooh, there's a nice chapter name in my opinion, or Spectral Knights or Ghost Knights. I like that. I do like the Spectral Ghosts. I haven't heard Spectral yet. It's a good good combo. And tech rates from Carl over on TikTok. Some good suggestions here, guys. If I can find my notepad from yesterday, I might have to rewatch the stream because I remember reading them out, but I don't know if it's saved on my Word doc. So we've got, I'm just going to make a note. We've got spectral ghosts, spectral knights, ghost knights, tech wraiths. What else do we have? There's a few more. There was another one up here earlier. White tears. And I think that's it. I hope I didn't miss another one. I think they were the two that we got called out. Oh, Jade, you're awesome. Thank you so much.
Not the buttons, not my gumdrop buttons.
My gumdrop buttons. Oblivion guards. Ooh, very nice. Too many good names. I don't know how I'm going to choose this. I think I'm definitely going to have to go out with a poll or something. All right. Quite happy with how this dude's looking now. He's looking quite grimed up, which is what we're wanting. Very dirty. Dirty boy. Now the bases are still a bit wet, if you can see, so we're going to have to leave them for a few more minutes before we can move on to the next step. Warp Enigma is asking, are they Codex compliant? I'm going to say that they're more like the Minotaurs or what are the Cannibal Ultramarines? The guys that wear all the bone. Kind of like the ones that they kind of just use the Codex as toilet paper. I think that's what these guys are, that's the vibe they're giving, you know? So, other parts of the mini are pretty much done. We can move on to the lens, I think, for these guys. So I'm going to grab some white paint and do my classic like glowy eye effect, which is like quite super simple. Oh yeah, Warp Enigma, Spectral Flame, like these are the orange Cheeto twisty dude. I showed him earlier. He'll make another appearance later. Spectral Flame as another one. Very good. Spectral Flame. And Flesh Tears from Carl. Yeah, Flesh Tears. Very nice. Almost like Flesh Terrors, which are also a really cool chapter that I like. Alright, so I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit so you can see. Bear with me. I'm going to try and get a real close up on this, if I can do it. Okay. Hopefully this comes real close. And we can watch and do the lens together. Alright, let's do this, hey? Alright. I'm actually got to lock in now, otherwise this could be disastrous. I think that's good. Yeah, I'll take that. Carl, we are doing the eyes. See if I can get the other side and still show you guys too. Damn, kind of got a little bit of the corner where we didn't. Bloody hell. That's a no good, but that's okay. We can fix it up. Alright, let's zoom back out and I'll show you how we fix it up. Okay. Jade, yay, Captain Twisty's back. Yeah, he made a brief appearance. He'll be back in the second half. Yeah, Warp Enigma. I think Spectral Ghost is up there from your suggestions. I quite like that one, definitely. And Iron War Jaws reminds me of Tal Geese from Gundam. Good work, my dude. Thank you. And oh, dude, thank you so much for the donut and roses. I didn't even see them. Sorry. That's a few gumdrop buttons if I ever seen it. Thank you very much. Okay, so to fix the lens, Warhammer Creative, muy guapa amigo, saludos de España. I don't know, I think you said very good, my friend. I only know a little bit of Spanish, un poco español, but not too much. So I'm not sure what saludos de España. I'm going to say that that's hello from Spain or something like that. Could be wrong. Alright, so to fix the eye, we're just going to give him a bit of eyeliner, essentially. A little bit of black paint. Fairly watered down. We're going to make him an emo so we can get the black rim around the eye back defined. So we've kind of brought it back there. You should be able to see that now. Quite happy with that. I will just refine it a little bit more. And that means I'm going to pop in a little bit more white just in the center because there's still a little black dot there. And with that, I think we have two good looking lenses, which will get a lick of paint now and make it colorful. I heart Marabee. How the hell do you keep your hands steady enough? Good question. I like to lean into the desk. So I kind of, it's like I'm handcuffing myself. Like I lean into the desk and then I paint like this. That's how I do things when I'm really concentrating, because then putting my body weight into it after you've eaten a pizza and garlic bread, you know, all that weight's going to keep you from not moving. That's for sure. And thank you, Carl. I appreciate it. And Alia Miller, do you sell these? These are my own ones, so I won't be selling these dudes. But yeah, I do commissions. Yeah, thank you, Carl. I do commissions. So people sometimes send me their minis to paint. And yeah, I do that. So we are going to add a bit of color because we want it to look like this guy with the lenses. That kind of real icy blue color is what we're going to go for. And I don't actually remember what color I used for that because I painted that guy quite some time ago, but I think it's this one here, Caribbean Blue from scale 75. It's quite a nice turquoise color. It'll come out thick, so we want to kind of dilute it so it becomes like a wash. And it's clogged. I haven't used it in so long. We're going to have to unclog it. So otherwise, I get impatient sometimes, and I've learnt not to do this. If you squeeze it too hard, this top bottle cap will just build up pressure and then just shoot out, and then you get paint everywhere, all over your desk. So don't do that. That's a hot tip. So I'm just going to unclog this. Bit of wire, that should do. Yep, perfect. Did the trick. And Warp Enigma back over on YouTube, planning on making an army of these guys. I don't know yet. Definitely a kill team, because it's the kill team box that I bought, and that's what I've been sort of, doing and built. So maybe, potentially. Undecided. There's just too many chapters, too many cool things that I want to paint. And Alexander over on YouTube says hi. Hello, Alexander. How are you? And Tristan just started painting Grey Knights, I should say. Very nice. I hope they get a bit of a refresh sometime soon. I feel like their models need a little bit of loving. Still mini, aren't they? Still quite small looking compared to everything else. Okay, so now let's go in with a thin down Caribbean blue. I kind of want to flood the eye. And it's okay if it looks like shit now, because once it starts to dry, we'll get the effect we're after. Because essentially it's colored water at the moment. So it doesn't matter if you can't even see any of the details under there. It's so thin that when it dries, it's really only going to tint it a little bit. So I kind of want to chuck a fair bit of paint in there. And I kind of want to capture around the helmet too, like just kind of here around the lens. So if you imagine my eyes the lens, we're going to capture around there too, because that helps with the glow effect just on that white armor. And if you ever just make a mistake like that, it's easy to just wick away while paint's still really wet. And Carl is having fun painting both Belial and Asmodai, trying out some new smoke techniques. Hell yeah, very nice. Over on YouTube, Warp Enigma, want to see a Captain Infobos for this guy. Yeah, I think I've got that model somewhere from a different box set, so I'll have to paint him up in these colors, I think. That's for sure. Alexander, sadly it's a little choppy. Yeah, my connection to YouTube's not great. I don't know, it's probably because I'm also streaming on TikTok at the same time, so hopefully that fixes itself soon. Yeah, I might have to look into that. And the Warpaint Warlord is here. Hello, my friend. How are you? Sorry, I'd have just seen the YouTube chat now. There's a little bit of stuff going on over in TikTok as well. Too many people commenting, which is a good problem to have. And Ascanius, yo, just popping in to say, keep up the good work, bro. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. And Tyler's mugshot. You deserve a follow. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And Carl is saying that TikTok is tanking my RAM. You're probably right, but it's also probably because I've got this sound deck everything going. I've got like a virtual camera going so I can capture from my phone as well. It's all happening. And my little toaster of a PC probably just can't keep up with it all. Just back here with the eyes, it's starting to dry a little bit, and you can see we're kind of losing a bit of that blue effect just because it's so thin. So now we can go in with another quick layer. And the War Paint Warlord is doing a Stormcaster Eternal recently. Dark Angel's Captain in Gravis armor with a master-crafted heavy bolt rifle. I know the one, he's like standing on a rock and it's kind of like he's holding the gun up like that. I think I've painted that before. Nice looking model. Mike, what's happening, mate? How are you? Stopping by again, appreciate it. We're just doing some weathering, bit of lens effect, and we're going to move on to the base soon. So if you want to see the Mars looking dusty base, who wouldn't want to see that on a Tuesday night? You've come to the right place. And Alexander, back over on YouTube, did you use chipping medium, sponge or brush for chips? Looks good. Maybe a mix of all? Yeah, good question, my friend. I used sponge, and this dirty looking little sponge is kind of the one that I used. Just ripped off a little bit and dipped it in charcoal and did the chipping effect with that. And then I refined the chips with my paintbrush and did little scratch marks. So those straight ones that you see, and the thicker dots here in certain places, were done with my paintbrush. Okay. And the Warlord is painting while watching this. Nice. I think a few people are. Someone else here is watching or got Uber Eats and beers and tuning in. Living the life. I like it. While this is still drying, it's taking way longer than I thought with these bases. It's still wet. You still see it. Because we're going to go in with pigment powder and it's not going to work well with the powder and wetness. And Beyblade, what legion or chapter is it? That's Marco, that's TikTok's asking at the same time. These are unknown origin. We've been chatting in the chat, open to suggestions on what you think this should be called. Had quite a few good ones so far. We've got Spectral Ghosts, Spectral Knights, Tech Race, White Tears, Oblivion Guard, Spectral Flame, Flesh Tears. Shoot some suggestions in the chat because I'm compiling them all, and yeah, gonna maybe vote on it because there's a few more that people have suggested yesterday as well. So once they're all done, we can decide on what to officially name them. So what I might do here is I might do a little bit of his virtual screen, and I think just a classic green looking display is the way to go. Want a bit of color, because if I go with blue like the lenses, I feel like you start to lose a little bit of the pop of the eyes if everything starts to look blue when it comes to the glow effects. So for the green, I'll show you the paint in a second. We just used dark green from Vallejo. So we'll add a little coat of that. Nothing too crazy. And Warp's asking, do you stream every day? I don't normally stream every day, but this kind of week I feel like I've been on for the past couple of nights every day, which has been fun. It's just kind of my new obsession at the moment. I normally make like my 30 to 60 second short videos on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. But this is kind of fun too, because I don't have to worry about editing the videos and getting them out. I can just chill with you guys and paint at the same time. So I'm kind of enjoying that at the moment. And subbed. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. And yeah, happy to see and check out whatever you guys want to tag me. Yeah, please do. I'm keen to see people's work, particularly if you've learned something. I always love to see it. I remember I made a ultramarine video on YouTube, and someone DM'd me on Instagram saying, "Hey dude, followed the tutorial and here are the results." And it's like really sick to see someone's taking on your advice and like you're able to help them. And holy shit, is that XC Hoops again dropping a galaxy and a goose? That's awesome, dude. You're a legend, but I've already told you, don't be doing that. That's cooked. I think you're gonna get everything on my soundbite. Here you go. You're definitely invincible for that. But yeah, Warlord, very nice to see you started the channel. That's really cool. And yeah, there could be a successor chapter. Mr. John Smith, hello. I'm doing great, thanks. How are you, mate? And Raphael, do I only paint Space Marines? No, I don't only paint Space Marines. I paint quite a lot of different things. But I seem to have a lot of Space Marines on my desk. I think people just like seeing Space Marines. But I paint other dudes. Like I painted this little orc, and hopefully you can see it because on my camera over here it looks green, but over here it's looking purple. It's definitely green in real life, so hopefully that's what it's coming through as. This little orc. I can show you a Chaos Space Marine, the Emperor's Children that we've been working on. But yeah, also do little skelly boys too, like this, because they're really relaxing and easy to paint. I like easy to paint models sometimes, just to chill. And love that you spit tab to the pencil. Yeah, fellow paint addict. Yeah, always lick the paintbrush. It's a rite of passage. Makes you paint better. Okay. So adding a little bit of corn red to these little vial things. So I'm thinking the green and red looks good together. Because I think he's meant to be like an apothecary type dude as part of the squad. So a bit of red looks really good on there. And XE, thank you again for the love you so much. Gumdrop buttons are falling from the sky. What's going on? Currently painting my Blood Angels together. Very nice. I wish I had a Blood Angels to show you, but I don't. I've only got their successor chapter, the Flesh Tearers, because I do love myself a Flesh Tearer. So yeah, this was the jump pack dude that I did for a video a little while back, and this one didn't make a video cut or anything, but I painted it, I think, before I even started doing TikTok videos. I painted it quite some time ago, but I remember took photos of it and shared it in like a little painting group that I had. So close enough to Blood Angels, and I thought this guy was like almost falling to the black rage, like his eyes were starting to bleed, he was so angry. You know how the Flesh Tearers get. That's what I imagine's happening.
at that point in time. Warp Enigma, thank you, my dude. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, better put your son to sleep. Sounds like the way to do. Yeah, do those errands and maybe Spectral Ghosts. I'll remember that for sure. We won't decide on it yet. Once I paint up all the dudes, we'll put it to a vote. But thanks for tuning in, man. See you next time. And Creed Sniper, greetings from the UK. Black Templar Legion. Yes, I'm a fan of the Black Templars as well. I feel like I say I'm a fan of all the legions. I'm not lying, I swear. Look, I've got one painted up for you right here, Creed. My little Black Templar dude. Ready to go on the Eternal Crusade. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Diego. Alright, so with this is dry now. I'm pretty happy with how the lenses have turned out. I think they're looking real cool. We didn't do this one up here, but I won't worry about that for now. I can always go back and add that one. What we want to do while the bases are still drying is I'm going to try and do like, you know, the marks, almost like a radar look. I think that's what we're going to do. But first we might build up a little bit more contrast on the green because it's looking a bit flat with just the one color, and for that we're going to use Angel Green from Vallejo Game Color. Water it down just a little bit, nothing too crazy. And I might just kind of focus a little bit more to the top and the edges. There's no real reason, I think it's more just like a stylistic choice that I'm kind of going for here. See if I like it. Might just spread it out a little bit. That's all we pretty much need to do with that. Raphael, what chapter is the guy you're painting from right now? You're missing the conversation, mate. We've got a hot discussion going on about what these guys should be called because they're from an unknown chapter. So throw me your best suggestion and we're going to put it to a poll once I finish painting up all my dudes. So in the next couple of streams, I reckon we'll land on a name. So if you can think of anything, drop it in the chat, please. So I'm just adding a little bit more definition. We're using Evil Sun's Scarlet now, just on those little vials. It's literally just the little details. A little bit of scratchy, nothing too crazy. I don't want to cover the whole vial because then that will get rid of the underside and the volume, but it just adds a nice little touch. Chad Faction from Dennis. I'll make a note of that. Chad Faction. Nice. We'll see. Put it in the vote. Don't know if everyone will agree, but we'll see. And White Ghasts. Nice. Thank you, Wah. Alright, so we can start getting a little bit funky with that radar looking thing on his wrist. So we're going to use Scorpy Green from Vallejo. It's a nice bright green color. And let's see if we can draw. I'm just going to draw almost like tic-tac-toe or noughts and crosses pattern on his wrist. Just trying to get my paint ready to go. And for this, make sure that you can see, it's going to be nice and steady. Steady lines. Try and be as thin as possible. So I don't know if you can see that, but we've done like a cool little grid on his wrist. Hopefully the camera can pick that up. And then the War Paint Warlord. Tag me in a video. Hope I see it. I will, my friend. Once I hop off this, I'll definitely check it out. Thank you, and good luck on your YouTube journey. So using the Evil Sun Scarlet that we still have on the wet palette, we kind of want to get the end tip because we're going to get into the super fine details here. I'm going to paint 1 or 2 little red dots on his display on his wrist. So they're like little enemies getting detected by the radar. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can zoom in on my camera. Hopefully you can see if I get the right angle. Oh, that's blurry as, but you get the idea. There's 2 little red dots there, very tiny, but they're there. All right. Adam Sanders on YouTube. God damn, that looks sick. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna say that that's wet and it's just dried a little bit glossy. If I'm putting my finger here, we're getting paint. No, we are not. That means it's time to add some pigment powders. But do we want some grass tufts? That's the question. Nah, it's going to be like Arrakis, but even more orange. Just going to leave it with the texture. So I'm just going to move my wet palette out the way because it does get a little bit dusty when we start adding some pigments. And Adam, I'd be happy if I could paint a 10th of this level. Nah, it's all good, man. Yeah, I'm sure your painting is good too. Don't compare yourself to others, mate. Just keep practicing them and do what makes you happy, you know? Okay. Wilfred Cutting, thank you. And Raphael, how did you do the base? The base, at this point, has been super simple. We've just had Terrain Light Earth, acrylic paste. So it looks like this. Goes on wet, dries hard, which is really good. And then we've just painted on earlier in the stream. We painted the base with this color. Red terracotta from Vallejo. Even though it's air paint, it doesn't really matter. It still goes on pretty good. So sticking with the Vallejo, just to add the dusty effect, we're going to start with this brown iron oxide. Straight out of the pot. We don't want to get too much on the brush. Something like this. Like it's just a little bit on the brush. And we just start brushing it on. It's almost the same color as the color that we painted, which is good. It will look a little bit flat, given it is the same color. But that's okay. We're just trying to really get the dust effect looking. So we want that dust coming up onto the base of his feet. He's really getting through this Mars desert looking base. And Indokite TV, what are we currently painting? We are painting a Space Marine in Phobos armor from Warhammer 40k. The chapter, unknown. Open to suggestion. No name as yet. So you see how much of a difference that just makes. Really kind of cements him in the world. Give it a little blow so all the pause. Blow away the Vallejo pigments so that it doesn't get too caked with it. What we're going to do is then add in a brighter Vallejo pigment. So we're going to use Vallejo Pigment's New Rust, and that'll add that kind of variation to the dust that we're after. So you got dark reds and lighter reds in there. How do you start getting into Warhammer and you want to get started? Literally just pick up a box. You don't need to get like the starter boxes or anything. You can grab a box of Intercessor Space Marines, a set of pliers and some glue and a couple of paints, and just get started. You don't need to have all the tools to get going. But yeah, exactly what Lemonade has said, and thank you for the kind comment, Lemonade. Recommend choosing whatever you think looks cool, and I agree with that 100%. That's how I got into Warhammer. I walked past the store when I was about 8 or 9. My cousin said we should go in and had a look around, and I saw metal skeletons with a big, I don't know, it looked like a tank, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And those metal skeletons turned out to be the Necrons, and that was a monolith in the background. So that was my first interaction with Warhammer. And they were the coolest things I had ever seen. Okay, same deal with the pigment powder. This time we don't want to go as crazy. You kind of want to be a little bit selective, kind of dropping it on in certain areas, because this will start to mix with the other pigment powder that we had there. But you can see the variation that it's already starting to make, which is good. Do I think Orc is valid? Hell yeah, I do. People love the Orcs, and I had a great time painting this little dude. I reckon they look sick. Orcs for sure. So just kind of blend it in as much as we can, but not so much that we lose the color that we had. So it's starting to get there. I might even go in a couple more times. Thoughts on the new Horus Heresy Saturnine box from Indokite TV? And Indokite and the guys over on YouTube, you might be thinking who I'm talking to. I'm streaming on TikTok at the same time, so I'm getting comments over there as well, so you might not be seeing them, so apologies for that. Thoughts on the box? I think it's cool. I think it's interesting to see like a new take on Terminators, because I hadn't seen something like that before. Are they my jam? Don't know. I'd have to see it in person. From the photos, I don't know, there's something that's still not 100% sitting right with me. Maybe you just got to give it a bit of time, you know? Terry, chapter, said a little bit earlier as well, these guys, chapter unknown, help me think of a chapter name and put it in the chat, because we're going to vote on it eventually. And oh, dude, thank you for the roses. I can't see what your name is. It just comes up as an icon. What is it? Oh, reproduce. Thank you very much for those roses. Appreciate it. Gumdrop buttons. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm just going to go back in a little bit more, because we want that tad bit of variation, like so. And I'm getting quite happy with how this is looking. What I would suggest for anyone that is looking to do bases is always try and add other elements. So I didn't do it here just because I'm not sure where my tufts are, but adding like some grass tufts or other elements like skulls really helps to elevate your model to the next level. I think they say the rule of 3. So you've got like your basing, which is like the dirt, a tuft, and maybe a skull. is the way to go. Shayla, hey, that looks like Aaron. Immediately laughing. Get out of here, Shayla. This is not your scene. What are you doing here? Go back to your F1 racing. But yeah, Raphael is exactly right. You'll learn over time. Just start by the paints that you're recommended with, and just get into it and watch a few YouTube videos. Easy. Best way to do it. But thanks for helping reproduce out in the chat, guys. Appreciate it. And Warpaint Warlord sending roses in YouTube. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, dude. But yeah, as I was saying, like I'll show you this as an example, but how this guy's elevated up. There's a little bit of tuft. I think a few more were here, but they've fallen off. And a skull. It just adds that next level bit of interest, rather than, it looks good, but it's a fairly boring looking base, if you know what I mean. So if you're wanting to step it up a little bit, that's what I recommend you do. Asai Juan, can you show me the painting materials, please? For this dude, there's been quite a few, so I can't show you all of them, unfortunately. But for the base, because I've got them handy here, these are the two things that we've been using. We've got Vallejo brown oxide and new rust for the pigments. And the red color beforehand was this one here, red terracotta. And Wilfred's got the Chapter of the Lost. Making a note of that, Chapter of the Lost. And AK Paints, thank you for the heart. And thank you for the gumdrop buttons. Appreciate it. Yeah, and it's not Vallejo, is it? Because I know we say it differently, but it's Vallejo, if I'm not mistaken. Vallejo. You say it like y sound with the two L's. But it sounds weird if I say it in the Australian accent, so that's why I just say Vallejo. Okay. Now, if we have a look, looking fairly similar, like the difference that we have here is we haven't sealed this, and I might just do that just to give you guys a bit of an idea of what it looks like, but I might just add a little bit more of that darker red color. And Asai, thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it. I might eventually make a guide on how I painted these guys up. I've made a couple of guides recently. I've got like how to paint Imperial Fists and how to paint Khorne Berserkers. Because that's how I learnt as well, was the PDF guides. Because sometimes videos, I don't know, I just find it easier to learn sometimes by seeing static images, and I can really zoom in on the photos. So that's why I decided to make some like that. So what we're going to do now is seal this in, because if you wanted to game with this model, over time, if you didn't seal in the pigment powder, it would start to rub away, because it's really just sitting there. So we're going to seal it in, and all we need is odorless thinner. It's what we use for thinning out oils and enamel paints, but you can also use it to seal in pigment powders. So you don't need to buy a separate product for it, which people do. They sell pigment sealing powder, so you don't need to. So we're just going to add a couple of drops like that. And you can get up on the legs too, because it doesn't matter. It's not going to strip any paint that we've previously put on. And really, that's about it. You can see it's sort of just slowly bleeding into everywhere we want it. Leave that to dry for a fair bit of time. It will take a while, probably depending on how warm your room is, could take up to about half an hour to dry. But once it's dry, it will look back like how we had it, all dusty, but it will be a lot more fixed on than it previously was. And then once we've done that, this guy's pretty much done. We'll just black rim the base and we're getting there. So we can do a little bit more on the other dudes. So we're gonna bring back out Twisty Cheeto Man. And we're gonna do the same for him. Make sure there's no other glowy bits. And Warp Enigma back on YouTube is back. Your son is asleep and you have returned. Welcome back, my friend. And El Boji. Pronunciation is so good, no problem. And you like the battle damage on the white armor. It's a good contrast. Thank you. Appreciate it, my friend. And thank you, Zero. So we'll do the same here. We'll kind of go a bit fast on this one just so we don't take up too much more time, because once I've done this, that'll be it. And then looking at the time, I might have to head off after we finish these. We'll be live for nearly an hour and a half soon, and I've got some stuff to do before work tomorrow. Martini, Ultramarines in the chat. Hell yeah. Marching for McCrag, mate. There's a couple Ultramarines hanging around my desk. We got Matoris from Secret Level with a power sword instead of a power axe, but Matoris nonetheless. And random assault intercessor dude who's just chopped off the head of a heretic. And Warp Enigma, is your star sign Scorpio? Not believing in that stuff, but noticed your profile pic. It is. I am a Scorpio, but it's not the reason why my profile pic is a scorpion. I just had a friend who's a graphic designer and she whipped one up for me and came up with the scorpion. And if you look very closely, his tail is actually a paintbrush. So instead of the stinger at the end, what is on my face? Martini sent a crown. I didn't even know you could do that. That's hilarious. And Tiny. What is this? What is going on? The gumdrop buttons are definitely flying today. You guys are sick. Thank you very much. But yeah, if you look at my logo, it's a little scorpion, but his tail is a paintbrush, and there's a little bit of red paint splashing off it, which I thought was really cool, which is very creative. I actually didn't know you could change, like, put filters on people. That's fucking hilarious. Scorpio 2. Oh, that means your birthday will be coming up in a couple of months. Yeah, I'm early November. Getting closer and closer to 30. Yikes. Be my last year of my 20s next year. Cookies, you got any Trench Crusade ones? I don't, unfortunately. I haven't got my hands on any Trench Crusade models, but they look very grimdark and very cool. I've seen a lot of people paint them up on YouTube. So maybe I will have to get my hands on them, because I love me some grimdark look, if you can't tell. Like the old weathered, gross looking stuff. definitely my jam. Yeah, the paintbrush tail is a nice touch. Yeah, it's super subtle, but I love it. Like I kind of see it every time I look at it. With the logo, she did a really good job. And you're the last day of Scorpio and turning 34. Yeah, that's it. The years are going faster and faster. Feeling old? Yeah, some days I feel old too. But gotta keep active, you know. Keep your mind active, keep your body active. That's the way. Well, it's easier said than done, especially when you're working like 9 to 5 as well. It's hard to do gym or get out and about, and if you've got a little one too. Don't know what that's like, but I feel for you. I can imagine it'd be tough sometimes to find some time for yourself. Yeah, still paint toy soldiers though. Yeah, exactly. We're all still kids at heart. Never grew up. That's it. I don't think we'll ever grow out of this. This hobby's with me for life. I wouldn't want to have it any other way. Cool. Happy with how that's looking. Just moving a little bit fast on this dude, because I want to add the sealant on them as well. What you guys could do as well, if you're wanting to do like a Mars desert looking base, is you don't have to paint the undercoat with the red color to begin with. You can paint it like a gray. So then you would have like the dust, red dust, sand almost sitting over like grey rocks, which I've found to be quite a nice look sometimes. Like it kind of sticks out. I'll see if I can show you an example. So it's like the earth itself is like a grey colour, and then it's got sandy dust on top. I did it on this Imperial Fist guy. And it's worn away because I didn't seal it in, just because I was painting for display. But you can still see the remnants of it. It looked way better when I first did it, but this obviously you can see is grey, but you had like the yellow sand over the top, and it looked like this. This is probably a better example because I think this has been sealed. So you can see a little bit more variation in colour. So there's something to just to keep in mind. And hello, awesome stranger. Would you paint stuff for people? Looks cool. Yes, I would, and I do. I do commission painting when I have some free time. So yeah, we were actually the other day working on a couple of commission pieces that I've got on my desk. I'll show you. This is one of them. So we're painting up a few of these Dark Angels Stern Guard veterans for a client. So yeah, coming along pretty good. He's pretty happy with them, and we'll keep going. Warp Enigma over on YouTube. Get some time every now and again for hobby. I mean, he's got a girlfriend that supports him painting toy soldiers, even get to have a little hobby room. That's awesome. Your own dedicated space. Look, I call this my hobby room too, but it is a shared office because my girlfriend's desk is right behind me, as you guys can see in the background. But yeah, I take it over. Not intentionally, but it just happens that way. What's my location? I'm in Sydney. Hello, stranger. Yeah, I'm quite full at the moment with commissions. I've got quite a few months of backlog to get through. But yeah, if you are super keen or local or whatever, I'm happy to chat more if you wanted to shoot me a DM at some point later down the track. And Carlos, how many hours did you dedicate on your work? This one in particular, I don't actually know, because I'm painting on stream, it takes a lot longer. I think if I was to paint this guy from scratch without filming and just painting, probably take me maybe 3 hours to get to a level that I'm very happy with. That's been a bit generous. I could probably work a little bit faster, but it would just turn out a tad bit sloppier. Could maybe do 2.5, maybe. Because the thing is, you've got to factor in all the drying times, particularly when you have oil paints, and that eats into your time if you're trying to get through things in a timely manner. And Jitterbug, love the dirt effects. Thank you, my friend. I'm loving putting them on. It's one of my favorite parts, is pigment powders. And I'm just showing you how we do the sealing of them. And all we're doing is putting some odorless spirits over our pigment powders, and that will lock it in, essentially. And it's good for gaming. You know, when you're getting your hands all over and moving the models across the board. The Warpaint Warlord over on YouTube. Usually when I paint bases, I use Armageddon Dust, Shade Agrax, Earth Shade, and then Dry Brush, Sandry Dust. Yeah, that's a good way to do it too. Definitely. I used to paint like that too. I used to have like PVA glue, and you dip the model in like a sand container. They used to sell the sand. I don't know if they still do at Warhammer or at Games Workshop. And yeah, do it that way, the old school way. But now I love the texture paste because it's just so easy. Warp Enigma, she even likes some of the designs. Got her a Sesh demon, the one playing a body of a man. Oh yes, I like that. That's a cool looking model. Like she's playing like a harp. That's really cool. And Probs Jimmy, we are just painting up some guys in Phobos armor that I have been working on stream over the last couple of days. So these are how they're coming along so far. We're just finishing up their desert looking bases. They look a little bit weird at the moment because they're drying with some odorless thinner, which is locking in the pigment powder. But I'm pretty happy with how they're coming out. I'm actually very happy in how this guy's face turned out. Particularly because I was painting it on stream, and when I do that, I normally tank a little bit in terms of how I paint, but I'm pretty happy with that. I think the blend came out quite nice. And Jitterbug is making me jealous because they live 30 minutes from Warhammer HQ in Nottingham. Way to rub it in, mate. I'm about a 30-hour flight away from you guys on the other side of the world. She heard the stream and said the flesh is weak. So good. You got a great supporting girlfriend, mate. Supporting the hobby, I love it. I'm going to bring this back on. So this was the guy we did earlier. You can see the corners are starting to dry. See how it's starting to bring back the dusty effect? We just got to let it wait and see, and it will come through. What we can do in the meantime is pretty much paint the bases black, and we can call these three dudes done. I'm just going to bring my palette back and we can do that. And then once I've done that, I am going to have to call it a night, I think, my friends. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me It's been real good fun. It's been a good stream. Been heaps of people chatting over on YouTube and on TikTok. On a Tuesday night. Gosh, what are you all doing? Choosing to hang out with me. And for that, I am grateful. Alright, so best black on the market, Vallejo model color black. That's what we're going to use to paint the rim and finish the model. Just going to wet my paintbrush, get it ready, put a nice big drop onto my palette. Oh, Warp Enigma's on summer vacation. Oh, lucky thing. I could go for a holiday. Alrighty. Song name. Is that Jitterbug? No, redacted. Oh, sneaky, no name. But I can click on you here and I can see it. I'm gonna assume it was the previous song that you asked, and that was Aura Analog by Stream Beats. Because I got to use copyright-free music when I'm streaming on YouTube as well. Otherwise, the commissar will come and execute me. Isn't this just a satisfying step? Painting the black rim just frames the model so good. So satisfying. And Mike wants to see me paint some machines. Maybe when I get around to building some, I do have some as part of another Chaos commission that I'm working on, like some Hell Brutes. I was just testing out a color scheme. I've got him sitting here because I'm just testing out at the moment because it doesn't look that good, so just look past it. But this is where we're going for. I was just kind of playing around with some skin tones on this Hell Brute. It's part of Black Legion, so don't look at the armor panels yet because I'm just starting with the skin. But yeah, more to come on that. Just playing around at the moment, but we'll save that for another time. And redacted, you've got it. It's Aura Analog, Stream Beats by Harris Heller, the song that I think you were referring to. All right, that's looking good. Take him off the blue tack, pop him over to the side, bring up the next victim. Jitterbug, when's my next painting stream? Don't know. It won't be probably for another day or two. I've got to go away for work in a couple of days. Maybe tomorrow night if I'm around and I've got time, I might hop on for about an hour and do one. And if I am, I'd love to see you there. But then, yeah, later this week I'm going to have to go away for at least one night, so I won't be around. I don't have a schedule as yet. I'm just kind of doing it when I feel like it. So normally around this time, because I do work full time, and for me it's already 9 o'clock at night, so don't want to be going too late into the night on a school night. And Adam, who decides what color the toys come in first? What do you mean? Do you mean like how these guys are white? Or like how this is black? Or because they all come grey. They come like bare plastic, and you're the one that decides what color you want to paint them. Mike, where am I headed for work? I've just got to go down the coast from where I am here in Sydney, and then I've got to go up the coast as well. A few hours drive. Yeah, it's alright though. Get out of the office. Bit of a road trip, you know. Confused. I want the old Noise Marine minifig, but I think they stopped selling. The old Noise Marine ones. I'm just trying to think of what ones you're talking about. Are you talking about like the old Emperor's Children? Like old? Or the one where it's like a Marine playing a guitar with like a mohawk? Yeah, the guitar one. Yeah, it is an official model, definitely. I actually saw it. I don't know if you're in Australia. If you are, they had it at the Combat Company, which is like a third-party retailer in Sydney. I remember seeing it on the shelf there. It would have been a couple of months ago, but don't know if they sold it. You know, when the Emperor's Children refresh happened, they might have sold out. But they definitely had it back then. So if you're in Australia, it could be worth checking out. But that, my friends, is looking like a wrap on our 3 models. So I'm going to bring over this one, which I can kind of handle now because the base is getting very close to dry, and we can have a quick little look at our finished model. Blood, sweat, and tears. Kind of felt like this at points.
I'm tired of this.
Felt like I was tired of this, Grandpa.
You keep digging!
But we just gotta keep painting. And this is what we've ended up with. A Marine, seen many a millennia of battle, trudging through the wastelands on some backwater desert planet, hunting Xenos. So I'm glad that you guys were here for the ride and came with me and painted up this dude together. Yeah, it's been good fun. And I can't say that. Seculto looks good. Thank you. And what models are they? They're the Phobos Marines. They're from the Kill Team, Phobos pack, which I had the pack for like 2 years. It's been sitting in my cupboard, partially built. So I thought this will be a good opportunity for me to get them done, paint them on stream with you guys, and forces me to do it. Because now we've got to decide on what we want to call them. And I'm sure we want to show off the rest of them to everyone else. But yeah, and Jitterbug, thank you. Thank you for the vibes as well. What do we got here? Warp Enigma. Looks so good, man. Oh, I'm number 1. XP thing. Whoop whoop. Hell yeah, you are, my dude. You're a real one for sticking around. Appreciate it. Thank you, my friend. And thank you guys. That's going to do me for tonight. If you want to hang around, if you're having any chats in the rooms, the chat rooms, I'm going to leave the stream going for another minute or 2. But it's been real. Thanks for the awesome stream, and I will see you guys hopefully in a couple of couple of days, maybe tomorrow. But I'll try if I can. Other than that, I'll see you at least in a couple of days' time, regardless. Take care and peace, guys. Happy hobbying. See you next time. Bye.